analysis on leadership, community, business risks, and the future of the project. Starting from approximately 11 a.m., the discussion focused on an extensive reflection regarding ArbCore's current situation, the risks the company believes it is facing, and the strategic decisions that could shape the future of the project. During the presentation, Eugenio shared a more open and direct perspective regarding the internal concerns that currently exist within the organization, particularly those related to the role of certain leaders, the behavior of parts of the community, and the direction the company may take in the coming months. It was explained that, fortunately, some of the opinions and behaviors that have raised concern do not come from the main leaders or from those holding key strategic positions within the structure. However, it was emphasized that even a small group of individuals can significantly influence communities made up of thousands of participants. According to what was presented, ArbCore began raising several internal questions due to the proximity of operational reopening and the strategic phase the project is currently experiencing. One of the main concerns that emerged internally was understanding the real risks the company could face if there are individuals within its own structure who have already generated significant profits, continue benefiting from the platform, and yet still maintain dissatisfaction or a negative attitude toward the organization. The primary concern was not centered only on personal opinions or isolated disagreements, but also on the possibility that some individuals could negatively influence other participants or create harmful narratives affecting the project's reputation. Eugenio explained that while the company has the capacity to respond and act against rumors or misinformation campaigns, it considers it unnecessary to invest resources, time, and effort into correcting situations that could potentially be prevented from the beginning. As a result of this situation, ArbCore began evaluating alternative scenarios beyond the original plans. One possibility under consideration involves continuing the development of the business structure through partnerships with investment funds and selected groups of individuals, reducing or even removing dependence on a large public community model. It was explained that such an approach would significantly change the structure of the project. It would no longer function as a fully open system, but rather as a more controlled and selective model where only specific participants would be able to take part. The main objective of this structure would be to protect the company's growth and stability while reducing risks associated with weaker relationships or situations that could impact trust and long-term development. Eugenio stated that this perspective emerged directly from situations recently observed within some community groups and chat environments. According to the presentation, one of the most concerning points involved hearing comments from certain leaders who indicated that they had stopped actively working with people because they were no longer receiving additional incentives or benefits from the company. This issue was presented as one of the matters that generated the greatest concern within ArbCore. During the presentation, it was emphasized that throughout the project's operation, many leaders had opportunities to generate significant income and build substantial structures through the ecosystem created by the company. This led to a direct question. If participation and support depend exclusively on receiving additional incentives, then what is the actual purpose of the relationship between the company and those who are part of it? From Eugenio's perspective, support and commitment should be built on stronger foundations than purely financial interests. It was stated that relationships based solely on financial benefits can eventually lead to excessive ambition, internal conflicts, demotivation, and structural problems. The discussion also addressed personal and business principles. Eugenio explained that he considers money a tool rather than the ultimate purpose of life or business activity. According to his statements, there are values and principles that hold greater importance and determine how long-term relationships should be built. Along those same lines, he stated that if the company is ever faced with a choice between protecting its own interests and maintaining situations that may create risks for stability, the priority will be protecting the organization. It was emphasized that ArbCore represents a structure developed through substantial investment in resources, time, and effort. During the discussion, it was noted that the company has made significant investments in technological infrastructure, platform development, tools, licenses, internal systems, and multiple components required to build a complete ecosystem. Initially, according to the explanation, this development was designed for a broad community of users and partners who could benefit from the products and services created. However, the company is now considering the possibility that large funds or strategically selected groups may replace the need for large-scale community participation. Eugenie also stated that many people continue viewing the project through perspectives influenced by emotions, previous negative experiences, or stereotypes associated with other similar models. According to his explanation, this limits objective analysis and prevents people from fully understanding the actual scale of the structure ArbCore is attempting to build. Additionally, it was mentioned that during difficult situations involving overnight operational processes and internal movements, the company reportedly made refunds and corrective actions that were not publicly announced. According to the explanation, these actions were taken as part of an internal commitment toward users and the proper functioning of the system, rather than being used as a marketing or image strategy. Another important point emphasized was that ArbCore was not designed as a temporary project or as a mechanism intended to operate only for a short period of time. It was acknowledged that any company can face unexpected situations, external difficulties, or force majeure events. However, it was stressed that the most important factor is the ability to respond, adapt, and overcome such challenges. Toward the final part of the discussion, concern was also expressed regarding people who joined the project through certain leaders and later found themselves without guidance or support. According to what was presented, some participants end up experiencing uncertainty and lack of information when the individuals who initially assumed leadership responsibilities stop fulfilling that role. From the perspective presented, this creates an additional burden for the company since it ends up assuming responsibilities related to communication, guidance, and support that were originally expected to be part of leadership functions within the structure. Finally, Eugenie stated that no final decision has yet been made regarding the path ArbCore will take. It was explained that internal opinions remain divided regarding the project's future, with positions currently balanced between continuing a traditional community-based model and transitioning toward a more private and selective structure. It was announced that more concrete decisions regarding the project's strategic direction, the future role of the community, and the measures ArbCore may adopt to protect its interests and ensure long-term development could be presented during upcoming meetings.